Okay, let's jump right into the deep end. Today, we were dissecting something universal, something we all do, yet, very few of us actually analyze it.
Yeah.
The nightly wind-down routine. Our mission today is to take source material that describes these specific routines and really extract the organizational genius hidden inside.
Yeah, that's right.
We tend to think of the evening as just passive time.
Yeah.
You stop working, you watch a show, you go to sleep.
Right.
But analyzing how people structure those, say, 2 to 3 crucial hours gives us this extraordinary insight into how they manage cognitive load, what their priorities are, and I think most importantly, how they make that clean mental break from the stress of the day to, the calm of rest.
And for you, the listener, that analysis is really everything. We're going to extract 2 profoundly different philosophies of winding down using the real-world stories of David and Anna.
Okay.
We'll pull out the essential vocabulary, the structural patterns they use, which will let you see which approach resonates more with your own schedule.
Excellent. Okay, let's unpack this by comparing the 2 routines described. So David's structured approach versus Anna's, her later, shorter schedule.
Let's start with David.
Yeah, let's focus first on David's routine. He described his day as busy and long.
And that's key. That context shapes everything he does next.
It really does. So his first action when he gets home is to change clothes to something comfortable. Then he drinks some water and just rests for a few minutes.
It's an immediate physical signal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like he's crossing a boundary. The workday is officially over.
And then pretty quickly, he moves on to dinner prep. This is around 7 p.m. And he keeps it really easy. Noodles, pasta.
A sandwich if he's really tired.
Exactly. The focus is on speed, not making some gourmet meal.
And this is where his organizational side really kicks in. Right after eating, he washes the dishes, cleans the kitchen. He actually says he does not like to leave things dirty overnight.
And that's not just about being tidy, it's about cognitive load. He refuses to let today's mess become tomorrow morning's problem.
Cognitive closure. I like that.
Absolutely. So by 8 p.m., all the required stuff, the chores, they're done. That's when he starts to relax.
And this part is flexible for him. It could be a TV show, a video game.
Or reading a book. But he mentions he usually ends up watching something on YouTube.
Okay, so then he takes a shower, but he does it late, around 9:30 p.m.
Yeah, and he does that on purpose. He says it specifically helps him relax right before bed. It's like a tool for him.
A sedative, almost.
Right.
And because he's, as he puts it, very organized, he uses the time after a shower to prepare for the next day.
This is the core of his strategy.
It is. He gets his clothes ready, packs his bag, even makes his lunch for the next day.
So by the time he starts getting ready for bed, around 10:15 p.m., all that's left is, brushing his teeth, washing his face.
And he sometimes meditates for 5 minutes.
Just 5 minutes, but it's deliberate. Okay. All of this is designed to get him to his goal, being asleep by 10:30 or 10:45 so he can wake up early.
Okay, so now let's contrast that with Anna. The difference is, it's stark.
It really is. Her evening is just shorter to begin with. She finishes work around 7 p.m.
Exactly when David is starting to cook.
So her whole timeline is shifted.
Her first move when she gets home is completely different. She takes a shower right away.
So for her, it's not about comfort first, like David changing clothes. It's about an immediate reset, a clean slate.
Yeah, immediate cleanup.
And then she cooks something small and watches a show.
See, that's interesting. She combines them. David segments his evening chores first, then relaxation. Anna integrates them.
And she doesn't sleep early. She usually goes to bed around midnight.
So what does she do right before bed?
Well, this is another key difference. She likes to listen to calm music or a podcast.
Okay.
And she specifically notes that listening to English before bed is a great way for her to improve. So she's linking relaxation directly to a self-improvement goal.
So this is where it gets really interesting. We see these totally different priorities. Is it immediate comfort, like David changing his clothes first?
Or is it immediate cleanup, like Anna showering right away? That first choice seems to set the tone for the entire evening.
Right. So we've seen what they do. Let's dig into the how. The structural language that the source material gives us.
Yes. Let's shift focus to that, because these aren't just actions. They're key phrases that really define the whole process of winding down. There are 7 of them.
The building blocks of any routine.
Exactly. Let's just list them out. First, I changed my clothes.
Putting on something comfortable.
Second, I prepared dinner.
The evening meal. Simple enough.
Third, I relax. So watching TV, reading, whatever it is.
Okay.
Fourth, I take a shower.
Right. Fifth would be I get ready for bed.
Which is all those little things, brushing teeth, washing your face.
Then number 6, I go to bed at.
The specific time you lie down to sleep.
And finally, number 7, I wake up early late, which is really the outcome of the whole routine, right?
It's a direct result.
So what does this all mean? The source materials weren't just about, managing time. They gave us a checklist for segmenting the evening.
A very clear one.
You see that division between chores, like the dishes, relaxation, like YouTube or music, and then preparation, like setting out clothes for the next day.
And that's how this knowledge becomes something you can actually apply. We've seen 2 approaches here. David prioritizes organization for the next day,
He's all about proactive load shedding.
while Anna prioritizes immediate cleanup and then this sort of later integrated relaxation.
We really encourage you to think about these structures. The source material actually ended with some questions for the listener to practice.
Which brings us to an important question for you to consider based on everything we've covered.
Okay.
When you look at David's very rigorous steps, the cleaning, the prepping of his clothes and lunch, and that little 5-minute meditation, which of those tasks do you think is the single most essential activity for ensuring he has a smooth transition into that final sleeping stage, hitting his 10:30 p.m. goal?
That's a great question. Is it getting rid of today's cognitive clutter by doing the chores?
Or is it that final dedicated 5 minutes of meditation that's the real key to unlocking that 10:30 p.m. sleep time?
Think about that final point of internal friction and how we all manage it. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope this knowledge helps you structure your own wind down.
Or at least helps you describe it a little better.
You know that awkward silence when you're just grasping for something to say? We've all been there. But what if I told you the best conversation starter is something you do like every single day? Yep. Today, we're going to master the art of small talk. And we're going to do it by talking about one simple thing, your evening routine.
No, really. Think about it for a second. What's the first thing you do when you get home after a long day? Do you kick your shoes off, head straight for the fridge? That little habit? That's the secret sauce for making real connections. Let's dig into why.
All right, let's kind of be a fly on the wall here. We're going to listen in on a chat between 2 people, Anna and David. Now, as they talk about their evenings, listen really closely because we're going to steal their best lines so you can use them yourself.
And this is how it kicks off. It's not some super deep, complicated question. It's just a simple observation. Anna just notices David looks tired. He's like, yeah, I am. And boom, just like that, the door is wide open for them to talk about how they relax.
Okay, this part is super important. David isn't just, listing facts. When he says stuff like, the first thing I do, he's actually walking us through his personal ritual. It's his way of ditching the day's stress. See? It's a little story, not just a boring list.
And the story just keeps building. Did you catch how he uses those time markers? Around 7 p.m., then around 8 p.m.? He's not just doing that for himself. It helps paint a really clear picture for Anna and for us. It makes his whole routine seem super organized and easy to imagine.
So this is how David really starts to wind down. The shower, that's obviously a relaxing thing, but then he does something really practical. He gets everything ready for the next day. That tells you a lot about him, right? He's organized, he's a planner.
Okay, now the spotlight's on Anna, and her routine, it's completely different. She's more of a night owl, Her evening isn't so much about a strict schedule, it's more about chilling out with music or a podcast. It's a perfect example of how relaxing means something different to everybody.
And honestly, that's the coolest part. There's no right or wrong way to do it. David is all about getting prepped for tomorrow, while Anna is focused on relaxing right now. Both are totally fine. And that contrast is exactly what makes it such a great thing to talk about. Sometimes, seeing things laid out visually just makes it all click. So let's actually map out David's evening and see how everything flows together.
Yeah, when you see it like this, you can really feel the rhythm of his night, can't you? It's like this steady progression from his work life to his home life with these really clear steps. You can almost feel yourself unwinding just by looking at it.
Okay, so we get their conversation, but how do we have our own? Well, it all comes down to the building blocks, right? The key vocabulary. Let's pull out those key phrases that made their chat sound so effortless.
First up, I changed my clothes. I mean, who doesn't do this? It's so relatable. It's the perfect signal that you're switching from work mode to home mode.
Next, I prepared dinner. Simple, direct. It doesn't matter if you're a gourmet chef or you're just heating up leftovers, this phrase works.
It's a key part of almost everyone's evening.
Ooh, this one's a good one. I relax. I love this phrase because it can mean so many different things. For David, it's YouTube. For Anna, it's a podcast. For you, it might be reading a book or staring at the wall. It's a simple word for something super personal.
I take a shower. Super straightforward, everyone gets it. It's a big part of a lot of people's routines, whether it's to get going in the morning or, like David, to wash off the day before hitting the sack. Now this one is a fantastic shortcut. I get ready for bed. Instead of listing every little thing, I brush my teeth, I wash my face, I put on my PJs, you just say this one phrase. It's super efficient, and everybody knows exactly what you're talking about. And here's the grand finale. I go to bed at, this is the final piece of the puzzle. When you're talking about your routine, people are almost always going to be curious about when you actually sleep. So saying I go to bed at 10:30 or around midnight just wraps it all up perfectly. All right, that's enough listening. The real learning happens when you start doing. So this next part, it's all about you. We're going to get these words into your vocabulary and make them feel totally natural. Okay, don't be shy. Nobody's judging. I'm going to say a sentence and I want you to repeat it out loud right where you are. Let's just get a feel for how these sound. Ready? Here we go. I usually cook dinner at night. I watch a TV show in the evening. I take a shower before bed. I go to sleep around 11. How'd that feel?
Awesome. Now for the real deal. I'm going to ask you some questions, and again, I want you to answer them out loud. Seriously, even if it feels silly. The whole point is to make this automatic. Okay, first question. What time do you usually have dinner? Do you watch TV or read in the evening? What time do you take a shower? What time do you go to bed? And last one, what do you do before sleeping?
So you might be wondering, why do we just spend all this time breaking down a simple chat about someone's evening? Well, because there's a much bigger lesson here about how we communicate.
And here it is, the main takeaway. This was never really just about your evening routine. It's about building a foundation. Once you get comfortable and confident talking about the small stuff, the everyday things, you build the skills and the courage to talk about the big stuff. It's like a ladder to deeper, more meaningful conversations. So look, you now have a whole toolkit to talk about a huge part of your life. The question is, what's next? Your morning routine, your plans for the weekend? The real power to connect with people is hiding in these everyday stories. Now it's your turn to go out and share yours.